Paula from memakingthings.com, and today I'm going to show you how to paint on a bed sheet. So the first thing that you need is some paint. Now you can get paint that's specially formulated to paint on fabric, but what I'm going to use today is just some regular craft paint. I have a bright pink and a light pink, and then I'm going to use this textile medium, and that will make it machine washable and soft and flexible, which is what you want when you're painting on fabric, like a bed sheet. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is mix my paint together, and what I want is approximately 2 parts paint to 1 part of the textile medium. See how close I can get. That looks pretty good. I'm going to do my light pink over on this side. Might want a little bit more of this bright pink. Okay, so then what I want to do is just take a popsicle stick here and mix it all together. And this is going to make it basically a textile paint. Okay, I have my dark pink there. Now I'm going to mix my light pink. Make sure you get this thoroughly mixed together. Okay, I have my textile medium mixed into my paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a butterfly on this gray sheet here, and I'm going to use this butterfly stencil. And I'm going to make a 2-toned butterfly, so that's why I have 2 colors of paint. So I have this folded up just because it's a little bit easier to fit on the table. But when you paint on a sheet, you might want to spread it out on the floor or a great big table, because what you want to do is when you're stenciling, you don't want to stencil on a folded up pad like this, because the surface won't be flat enough for you to get good results. So what I'm going to do is kind of pull this apart here so I can get a flat area on the table here to work with. Okay, so then I'm going to put my stencil down. I'm going to get fairly close to the edge there, and I'm going to use some of this masking tape to hold my stencil down, because if your stencil slides, you won't get very good results. So I'm just going to tape that down. Make sure it's nice and flat and smooth. Okay, so I have it taped down there. All right, so I'm going to use one of these foam pouncing brushes. And the one thing you want to remember when you use these, if you are doing a number of different colors, don't use them again when they're wet, because it will cause your color to dilute and bleed into everything, and it might seep out underneath the edges of your stencil. So I'm going to start with the basic color I'm going to lay down is going to be this pink. So I'm just going to pounce it in there and get it good and loaded. And you want your paint, you want this nice thick texture here, because if it's thin and runny, it's going to seep under the edges. So, and then you dab off a little of the excess there so that you don't have too much, so it's not too goopy. Okay, so then all I'm going to do is make sure I don't go over the edge there. Pounce it down on there. You want to go as straight up and down as you can. Make sure I get in all the area that I want to get into. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my dark pink here and load it up on my brush. Make sure it's not in there. And then I'm going to basically go around the whole outside here just adding kind of a secondary tone. Now I got it a little bit more of a hard edge there than I want, so I'm just going to take my, oops, I got a little dark pink on that one. I'm going to take my light pink here and just go over it again there in that central area to kind of blend the edges a little bit there. All right, and then I have a nice two-toned thing going there. Pull off the edges. And you always want to make sure you go and wash your stencils off, because if you get a lot of paint coated and dried on there, then the edges aren't as clean anymore and you won't get as nice of an image. But that is how you paint on a bed sheet. This has been Paula from Me Makey Things, and get out there and do some crafting.